Welcome back all. So an actual run on the map now. It won't have that editing that we've just done, pure and simply because it's not in the game yet. I haven't uploaded it, I haven't built it into the editor. That's a long way off, probably another month away from adding stuff like that in. And it's not finished. It's annoying me at the moment, it's not good enough. But we'll do a run on the main server so you need to get some gameplay in. Or the server to be. Why wasn't it letting me join? There we are, we're in. Okay. So we're here. Right, normal thing, we need to get fishing as quickly as we can. Where are we? That's the first question. Okay, that's reasonably easy. We should be able to get the stuff we need quite quickly. Right, throw that away. Put that on. Potato. Oh, we need to go the other way now, haven't we? That off. Potato in there. That on there. That on hat. That on back. There we go. Don't want a thermometer. T-shirt off. That on. Has that got any storage on it? Jumpsuit pants it has, so we'll have that. No, the one we had is damaged. That's pristine. We'll go for the pristine one. That's fine. Keep a t-shirt on for the moment, but we'll rip them up. If the weather comes in bad, we'll probably just make it morning and take the bad weather away because we're testing. The test isn't to prove I can or can't do things, so yes, no. There we go. Player management. No, not that. Weather. There we go. I want to make it 6 in the morning, approximately. There we go. We want to make no fog and no wind. There we go. Because we are just testing. Anyone can run around in the dark when they're testing. The raincoat's got one slot, not interested in it. Yes, I can rip it up into rags. Yes, I can. I am interested in it. So a bit more of a laid back stream today. We've done an hour and a half of attempting to edit and you've seen how difficult that is. So now we'll just do a bit of gameplay. Rags is what I need initially. Hoodie's got far more slots than a t-shirt. Gonna need a knife as well, because we need to cook some fish. good for bashing zombies, isn't it? So we'll have that. Bring that off for a moment. That over there. Welcome back, Jack. So we're in main game now. We did an hour and a half of attempting to edit, and I've done some work. I need to do a bit more, obviously, but I'm burnt out of doing it. It's so... I need to do it in little drips and drabs. So we're going to have a run for an hour or so, maybe a couple of hours on game, because it's edited. Because we're testing. We don't need rain on. We don't need wind on. We don't need rain. We don't need it to be overcast. Fly. There we go. So yeah, I'm just going to have a run on game. I've taken most of the food out now, and I've done the loot edit. So there's more zombies. They're more spaced out. There's less food. There's less loot. It's all a little bit harder. Things like DayZ Editor is something I can do for about an hour and a half, and then I'm like, I've had enough of that now. Save it, come back to it at a later date. Because I spend all my time just falling out with it. So we're going to have a run around the map, basically. My normal Saturday evening thing. And just see how the loot is. Whether I need to balance it more. Took me about 8 hours today to get the loot table where it is. So this gives me the beginning of being able to fish. Because I've got a piece of rope. Next we're going to need a knife. And gloves. But gloves should come from this. Which is why I'm setting the server up, and it's taking time to get it ready. So I want it to work. Hand wrapping, there we go. That's my gloves dealt with. Now we just need a knife. I am playing on your now server right now. I have nothing else to do. I hope you're enjoying it. It's an experience. We'll certainly, when we get this one up and running, this will be something different, obviously. And when we come back to Namalsk Christmas this year, we'll be doing the Jungle Namalsk server. I hope Namalsk 2150, as they call it, so it should be out by then, which is the aim. So now I'm picking up rags because I'm going to need to obviously be able to defend that for bandages. So now we need to find a knife. But from spawn locations, everyone should, by running up or down, be able to find everything they need reasonably quickly. Reasonably, because it's not an exact science. Hoodie's got 8 slots, that's got 8 slots. We'll stay with the hoodie. So the pea coat can't be ripped up, but the hoodie can. So we'll go that way round and take the bandages instead, or the potential bandages for the future. It is challenging. I'm glad it was meant to be. I mean, this is going to be a different challenge, we know that. This is less about the cold and more about gas and doing different things, but certainly I like what I've done with the Namalsk server. To me it feels, it's not exactly what I want, but it feels far closer to the end of the world. Pristine to pristine, we'll take the pristine. I said we need we... Now the infected shouldn't be dropping food because they were earlier. So I've taken that off them. Take another potato. No, we'll put the pistol away. The challenge of finding a knife is a nightmare. I haven't upped the knife spawns, but certainly the zombies are working well. I space them out far greater. I want people to feel when they enter a village, not know whether there's a player, because obviously zombies normally spawn in next to players. And if we eliminate that by having them spawn at a far greater distance, people won't know whether there's a player there or not. We have upped the animal spawns as well. It was the right thing to do. Now, if I'm going to take food away, I have to give people an ability of getting food. Big screwdriver, that will do as a knife, won't it, in an emergency? Let's make our way back to the coast. We go over here, and we can come back to the well and fish as well. Come back to the well, sorry, and drink after we've dealt with the fishing. I'm trying not to run. Says me starting to run. So as you would have seen earlier when I was in DayZ Editor, it takes me so long to do anything because I don't do it all the time. I play the game rather than edit code. That's my main problem with building stuff in DayZ Editor. I want to play the game. That might work. So the idea of building lots of little camps all over the place, while very nice, will take me hours. Yeah, it's not quick. Right, let's get some fishing done. The VOD is going to be up there, so if at any point you want to watch the editing, it will be available. As with everything else, I certainly leave the VODs up. Leave that on the floor. Now we need a screwdriver. We need a 3 and a 3. That's good. Will that let me dig for worms? No, it won't. I need a knife still. That's annoying. Okay, that off my back, that on my back, that in my hand. Right, back we go. We need to find a knife. I'm looking forward to when this server comes out, but we are up to 2 months away before this server launches. But once the trader's done, then I can start adding in a lot of the other code, because the trader's the last thing that needs to be added. But it links so much together that... Let's drink some water now. There's no zombies covering it. I think someday I see my day building stuff in DayZ Editor, like what Merv said. It's good, isn't it? And you can DayZ Editor. You can, if you own DayZ on PC, you can download DayZ Editor and work on it. If you've got a PC, you can play on DayZ Editor as much as you want. You can load up any map. You just need to download the map, and you can play with editing it, or you can get a blank map. There's someone out there does a Chernarus map that's completely blank that you can build your own stuff in. But my brain doesn't work that way. For me, it's a lot of work to get it right. But it's nice. I like DayZ Editor. It does the job as a free mod. Right, we need a knife. That's what we need, is a knife. Come on, Mr. Knife. Where are you? Don't need a gun. Need a knife. So there you go. So you can, if you go into DayZ Workshop, do a search for DayZ Editor, click subscribe, it'll download it. It'll then download the other mods it needs to make it work, if you don't have them already. You choose the map you want to. Now that's that world, isn't it? Do I take the rifle I've got no ammo for? And then you literally load into the map and teach yourself how to use it. You can't harm anything because it's loading an instance of the map. It doesn't affect gameplay in anything, but allows you to play with it and build stuff. And it's far more powerful than what I use it for. Because I'm learning. People that know what they're doing with it are quick. My biggest problem is I want everything to look right. How many socks and police pants? That's better than what I've got. I? Yeah, I threw away whatever I had, or I ripped up whatever I had that had something in that I was using. That's about right for me. Eight peacoat, we'll say what we've got. Shotgun I'm not interested in. Take another bandage. And there is some tutorials. They've got their own Discord for editor, which they'll talk you through how to do stuff. And there are tutorials on YouTube for it. Body armor, we'll have that. Take the meds. Police jacket, 8 slots, same as the peacoat. I do realise we need food. As with all my servers, as long as you can get food, you're pretty sorted. As with DayZ, realistically, it's hard to make a hardcore server without making it impossible. And you want to make it possible. But you still want to make it hard enough that finding that item that you've been looking for feels like endgame. Massive balancing act building servers. How many shotguns do you need? Yeah, so that's the problem with editing the loot table. So the police would have had other stuff in it, but some of that stuff I've taken out of the game. So now it's saying, oh, I've got a flag here that I need to put loot on. What have I got that fits into a police station? Ah, I've got a shotgun. I'll put lots of shotguns in. But that will eliminate more as I add other mods in. And because I'll have some things that spawn in. Again, you could use DayZ Editor and take some of the flags out of buildings if you knew what you were doing. So less stuff will spawn in. If only you could use a pipe to make a knife. But I've certainly taken food out, which is good. So now it is about hunting, shooting and fishing. There we go. Right, where's my nearest fishing spot? I am up there. So probably over here on the pond. Let's go over to the pond and do some fishing. And trader's a big one for me on this one. Getting trader working with the fact that you'll be able to go in. run in there and sell weapons to get nails, and then use nails to build your base, to me is massive. Players that don't want to use a trader will still have other routes they can take, and that's fine. But players that are happy, that would rather sell every weapon they find, buy a code lock and a workbench and build their base, go ahead. But the trader will be selling, sorry, the trader will be buying, I think we're going to buy all the weapons, but for the low tier weapons, well, we'll buy everything 5.45 and above, with the high tier weapons worth an awful lot more nails than the low tier. So it's not going to be easy to go to the trader. It's not like you're going to be able to grab a M16, run to the trader and come away with 70 nails. You know, you take an M16, run to the trader and come away with 5 nails. If you want to buy a code lock rather than get one in the world conventionally, it's going to cost you maybe 100 nails to buy it from the trader. It's not going to be easy. And all the time that you haven't got a base, you've either got to stash your nails or carry them on you. Right, let's go for our emergency food. Keep ourselves alive that little bit longer. Can we do those with the screwdriver? Because that would save us wasting our knife. Yes, we can. Come on. Oh, we need to eat here because I need to take the pipes with us. Not running at the moment to build the calories up. I mean, I could put on here cold survival, but I don't. But we're going to have enough problems once you want to get better kit. You're going to have to get an NBC suit to get into the high tier areas. So I don't think we need to add anything extra to it to make it hard. Is there a building here, just up here? Yeah, there was. Okay, let's go to the building. Or maybe there wasn't. Bear territory. Maybe we'll just fish over here. Go on, give me a fish straight away. You fucking star. I've got another mark I've put in somewhere, haven't I? Delete that one. Okay. So let's try. That's well up there. Let's go up for that one there for eating. Then we can eat. That's that military compound, isn't it, with all the Z's in? Forget that. That's stupid. Let's. Yeah. Let's go for. Is that a house? I want something with a conventional fireplace. Make my life easier. Tomorrow night I'll be back on main server with Cookie. Back to our PvP world. This is very much a Saturday thing while I'm building the server. I build server during the day or do work on the server and we stream it at night. No, it's a greenhouse? Bloody lighthouse, that'll be the one. And then once the server goes live, then I'll be recording content on here more than streaming it. I think this has a conventional fireplace inside it though, doesn't it? From where you're kneeling, it must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start. Doesn't feel at all like bad luck. I'm a lot of hours into DayZ. The game's amazing. I like how it's rigged, and arguably this is my own server that I'm building, so I know how bad it is because I've made it that way. Right, we need to go and get a stick. But welcome to the chat. DayZ is amazing, but it's amazing because it's hard. It's even more amazing when you make it harder. We need to go and deal with that Zed. Ah, okay. It's been a few years since I played New Vegas. I used to, when I first started streaming, it was on Twitch on Fallout 76. But I'm one of those weirdos that thinks the last good Fallout game was Fallout 2. and I miss Fallout 2 massively. Fallout 2 was my game. I've got Wasteland 2 here just so I can, when I want my little bits of Fallout feeling. That side and that side. That can go back onto back. Okay. That can go up there. Get this cooked. And then move out. So we're just doing a server test basically. I've changed the loot table today, got rid of all the food apart from what you can catch and cook. So hunt and catch and grow. 90% of the food. Got rid of a load of the loot, and I'm just testing whether it's working, whether it's spawned correctly, if I need to alter it any further. I had no idea there were streams out there that were bots. No idea at all. I do like the name though. Wasn't Jetpack a Spectrum game? Thinking it was. That shows my age. Right, that done. Get this eaten. Get away from that fire. Hardcore setting. Yeah, I mean, I build hardcore survival servers, and this is going to be the next server that we drop. Oh, we replace the current one with in 2 months' time. So it's slowly tweaking it and getting it where I need to get it to. Because it's me doing it on my own. I've got people that help me test, but I like the difficulty of it. I like a challenge. I love normal PvP DayZ. I like base building and all that sort of stuff. But I also like the challenge of this. Just, yeah. And as much as I've got no other people testing at the moment, because they're offline, it doesn't mean that I can't do a little run and just see if the loot's working and stream it. Just it won't be full-on PvP action, it'll be me against the environment. If you catch me on a normal evenings, then I'm normally running around on an Aftermath map, base building and trying to survive. Close that off. Let's set ourselves an objective. And I've got a map at the moment only because we're testing. I want to go down this side, so we've always done over that way, but we've never really pushed down there yet. So let's head for there. And deal with that set. I want to make sure Zeds don't have food on them, because I've taken the food out of spawn, but one of my testers came in earlier and he's like, you haven't done the Zeds yet? Whoa, yeah, I forgot to. He said they're all, when you kill them, they've got cans of peaches on them. Yeah, we need to get rid of that. So, I don't see it as a hardcore setting. I see it more as, if this really was 10 years after the end of the world, a lot of the stuff would be missing and gone. we put in less bandages. People can rip up rags with their hands, or players can, and then purify the bandages when they find the stuff to do it, to make them give themselves more bandages. We take nails out of spawn, but allow with a pair of pliers you can cut up some barbed wire to get nails. Or once this server comes out, there will be a very limited version of a trader that will buy and sell using nails as currency. But it certainly won't be every item. Oh, I don't really want to be in this town longer than I have to be. Move back out. Wells over here. We're going to fill up the water before we move. If that makes sense. I'll put Z on there. See if we can get in without triggering her. Never played DayZ, only Left 4 Dead, LFD2, COD Zombies, Dying Light. Dying Light's good, Resident Evil, Project Zomboid, State of Decay. So, the DayZ's it's DayZ. It's a survival game with zombies, much like any of the other ones out there. Ultimately, it's 10 years old. It's built on the Armour code. It's been kept alive by the modding community and people releasing servers and building them differently. There's no real objective, if that makes sense. The only objective is to survive for as long as you can. You get lots of different servers, so this will be, when it comes out, a hardcore survival server. Once it's finished, once I've built it. You get PvE servers. You'll get servers that are full-on PvP that feel like Call of Duty. Our primary server that me and the team play. Okay, Dead Island, yeah. So the primary server myself and the team play is a PvP server with base building, helicopters, one-tapper weapons, food, bit of survival, but more on the base building and raiding people. Whereas this, what I like to build, is a more closer to COVID happened 10 years ago, and rather than people being cured, they all turned to zombies. Yeah, and that's not what I build the server, but that's what I play. Last night I streamed 5 hours yesterday of a server where you're running around with M4s and better, shooting players, looting, doing all that sort of stuff. Whereas I build for the community this sort of thing, which is a bit more slow it down and survival and limited resources. And I have a little player base that really enjoy this sort of stuff. But it's the full-on PvPs. What you enjoy watching and I enjoy playing is what's most popular. But the people that enjoy the slow it down survival aspect, there isn't a lot of choice. There's some really, really hardcore survival ones that I think, for me personally, take it too far. And then there's things that call themselves hardcore because they've added some more zombies. But it's hard to find stuff in the middle ground. I try to aim to make things that My feeling is a player that understands how DayZ works should be able to spawn in, and as long as they can eat within 40 minutes, should be able to survive. So the servers that I do, the eating tends to be because we give people a fishing hook to start with. A fishing hook and a bandage. So you should be able to build a fishing rod and fish. And if you can do that, you can survive. And then it's things like the fact that you can't access your rucksack unless you take it off your back that make it harder. We limit slots within clothing, so people have to think about what they're carrying. We take all cars out. MVGs and LAR are endgame. I don't put any extra weapons in. I reduce the weapons, you know. The high tier weapons, there shouldn't be a lot of them on the server and they should be hard to get to. But I still have it as a PvP server. And once the server goes live, there'll be base building plus on here for building, there'll be explosives for raiding. There'll be an objective for players to do if they wish to take part in it. So there'll still be stuff to do. We tend to have things like we don't give people a map. Obviously I have at the moment because we're testing, until they find the map, and then once they find the map they can press M. But up to that point they need to find it. But I up the spawns of them, and on this one when we've got the trader in, I'll add the map to trader, and for 20 nails he'll sell you a map. So for players that have been looking for a map for ages, get to trader, sell a few weapons, buy a map. I don't tend to put no build zones on the map if I can get away with it. So the no build zone we will have on the trader, but that'll probably be the only one. Okay, this is worth hitting. Might find ourselves some ammo or a better rucksack. We've made the grass a little bit bigger, so there's a map, and it says, yeah, so it's, and I've got one anyway, but you'd come here, sea chests we're keeping in this time. As I said, I've made the grass taller, so if you come under fire or you get shot and you hit the deck, they're gonna have to find you if they haven't got filters on. But massively limited to spawn, and chain zombies, so I've got zombies spawning at 500 meters rather than 300, so it means that by the time that you get to their spawns they're spaced out. Yes, you could, but many servers, mine included, will ban you if you try and connect with 2 accounts. I would see it as cheating. And human meat's not a safe meat to eat in DayZ. So if you eat human, what it does is it gives it, you can't cure it to start with, so you eat human, things are going to get bad for you. Too many maps at the moment in the game, so that's something I need to look at. And what it will do is it will give you the shakes and the laughs, so you'll start shaking when you aim a weapon, and you'll randomly laugh hysterically because you've eaten human meat. Hi Savvy, how's you, mate? This is our next server, Savvy, that will be launching 2 months down the road. So it's just testing. Yes, cheers for that, Savvy. Out to Mr. Jetpacker. Savvy's one of the people that the first time I ever played DayZ, or one of the first times, I was on a mouse with him and another player. I mysteriously died, and when I got back to them, they were eating what I thought was something that was nice. But it happened to be me they were eating. Wasn't it, Savvy? There's nothing in here I want. Let's carry on our little bimble. Oh, actually, I will stay with the stab vest. I could do with a hunting vest for storage, but the stab vest does protect me from zombies. So this morning, Savvy, I was editing the loot table. So this is just a run to see whether what needs editing a little bit further. There's too many maps at the moment appearing in game. That needs to be reduced down. We'll pick up a potato. So I've left potatoes in, and that's about the only source of food you can get that doesn't involve hunting, shooting or growing vegetables, because they don't really give you much. And as much how my footwear, and we that sounds like a nightmare. We would never. Yes, you did, Savvy. 100% you did. So that smoke up there is a heli crash. So we'll be pushing that. Now, prior to me editing the loot this morning, you'd have got good rucksacks off it. Whereas now, you shouldn't, because I've edited what could spawn in on it. But I need to go and make sure that what does spawn in isn't OP. Because a heli crash can come down anywhere on the map on certain points, but all over the place. And I don't want players spawning in and being fully geared in the first hour. So we will go visit the heli crash. Before we do, we'll eat the fish. DayZ berry update when? I could put berries in now, mate, but I just have to add lots and lots of other shit to it to make the berries work. You want to live off berries, don't you? Until you get the chance to have berries, you won't be happy. Right, let's go for the heli crash. If we can find a way up that mountain. On the left, I reckon. No, I sort of agree with you, depending on the server. But it's certainly not on their radar as something that they're going to fix at the moment. The next update, we're getting different trees and bushes that have different hit rate on them. So the hitbox changes to make trees less bulletproof. bushes less bulletproof, and also make them spawn in using less FPS, which does make sense. Dead man's click. That was a silly mistake, wasn't it, Goblin? So yeah, so lots of games don't quite get it right, do they? That's good. NBC stuff's on here. Radios, that's fine. Ghillie Shreya, that's fine. Sunglasses, that's good. That needs to come out. That shouldn't be on here. Nor should the good ammunition like that. Sorry, Savvy, that's going to hurt your ears. So that needs a bit of changing. So I need to get the loot, the event loot sorted better. But I like that there's NBC on here. It's 25 slaughter. What's my rucksack? 25 or less? Mine's 15. We'll go for the new one. There we go. Right, let's go and have a look at that tower. Let's get some ammo first of all. Let's be sensible for a change. We don't need the 5.56, but we do need that. Now, from the top of the tower down the other side, there should be a petrol station with a tunnel, I'm thinking. Or a gas station for my US cousins. Well, you can go up there, there's nothing really up there worth having. Carry on our merry little way. Never played Zomboid. I've looked at it. It's not my sort of thing. I say that, you know, I played Wasteland 2, thanks to Mr. Savvy, who persuaded me to buy it. But I'd never do it on stream. It's go in and play for a couple of hours and just enjoy it with a cup of tea or coffee. Right, this might be stupid. See if we can find a way down the rocks. Go for my Skyrim route down. There we go. There's a tunnel that goes underneath this rock face. Nowhere to store it, and this will take our spin that off, unload that, spin that one off, load that. Oh, it will put it in the rucksack, won't it? What I really need is something to purify rags with. It's going to be a medical centre though. Zombie looked like a train conductor. Now you're not getting anywhere. That's very true. Ooh. Let's get that one mag off. Bring that one off. And I am just, I mean, I'm not, at the moment, I have no real objective other than I'm just seeing how the loop is working. Now I've edited it. I wanted to leave clothing in because you've then got access to, you've always got access to rags, which is good. I need to change the event spawns, get the high value ammo out of them. And That's fair. Okay. We'll carry on pushing down the map. Get that one off. Let's go down to... Let's actually go and hit the tier 4 military today. So let's go down to there. We'll have to play with some wolves, I'm guessing. But we might get a better rucksack out of it. Is this your own server? Yes. Yeah. I'm developing it at the moment, so at the moment so far this is 2 months away from me launching it. So I did the loot edit today, and now I'm just seeing whether it's working correctly, how I want it to be, and what needs to be tweaked. Then once that's done, then I've got to build some custom stuff on it, and then once that's done, it goes in. I've got to add the mods that we're going to have, get it tweaked to where I want it, and then we go into about a month of testing before I release it into the world, because I want it to work. I want it to feel right, and I need to test everything. The thing that I hate most about DayZ servers is when you join a server, a smaller server, somebody like me that doesn't have a full-on massive server. I need to get rid of heat packs. We won't need them. Yeah, you join into the world, and then the server's new, and every 10 minutes, not every 10 minutes, every day for the first month, they're updating it because they never really tested it. They just put a load of mods on and released it. I think if you release something, it should be tested, basically. But yeah, it's mine. I have at the moment we're running a mouse hardcore survival server, and then that finishes in 2 months' time, and then this will go live, and this will be, rather than cold be the problem on this build. When it goes live, it will all be about gas, so you'll need MBC clothing to get into the high tier zones and get good weapons and equipment. And we're going to add base building plus to it, and raiding charges, breaching charges. We also do things like get rid of food, reduce bandages massively, try and make the server feel like it's the end of the world rather than a Call of Duty server, basically. I haven't weapons named correctly with a patch. We need to reduce barrels as well, they would have been used up. I don't have any vehicles in. Things like, on here there'll be one vehicle, it's an event spawn, but my brain says that this is 10 years after the outbreak happened, all the cars would have been driven off and all the food would have been eaten by now. And I like things like having to take my rucksack into my hands or onto the floor to be able to access it, because it's a bit more realistic. Goblin, you gotcha, yeah, agreed. Test, yeah. And every little tweak I do, just keep my friends there, keep testing it. Keep testing it, make it right, make it feel right. I want players to be able to join a server, and even if I don't have lots playing it, I want the ones that play it to be able to have a good experience without you having to keep restarting and adding new stuff in, or tweaking it further. There's always a couple of tweaks you need to do, but test it. And then what will happen is when this server's finished, we'll come back to this server in about a year's time, or this build. Once I've got it right, then keep a backup of my files. So when we do it again, we can just add it straight in and we don't have the long development cycle again. So the tier 4 island, at the moment, there's a chance of gas dropping on it, but there's no gas permanently on it. So when the server comes out, there will be a new threat, a different threat on this island, but at the moment it's not there. So we need to go for there. How many police sets have we got? One. Okay, let's... And at the moment, I mean, things like, I have a map because I'm testing, but what we do is we tend to make people find a map before they can use a map. But once they find it, we put a little bit of quality of life, and you can just press M then, and you can make 3D markers, but you have to physically have the map on you. Nobody enjoys building the flag in conventional DayZ, so I'd always put, for base building, an instant flag in, just because it's one of those things that just nobody enjoys doing. Well, somebody might, but people don't want to spend hours gathering rocks to build a flag. We're going to have a trader on this server, but the trader will trade in nails, not money. So your way of getting nails will be to sell things to the trader. And he'll pay you next to no nails for anything that you want to sell him. And anything you want to buy, like a code lock or storage, will cost you a lot of nails. But you'll also be able to find those items in the world doing different things. But for players that don't want to do that, there will be a trader that's not a safe zone that you can buy the items from. Electricity pylon. Okay. And it's always been a love-hate relationship with traders for me in DayZ. Because I don't understand why there's money in the game. But having... a bit worried where his barrel went. But having a trader that's not a safe zone, that has nails as a currency, in my head works. Because you're going to have to find a way... we get rid of tents. So you're going to have to build a stash. Or bury something. But then we give people things like base building plus, or even more doors for building. So when they do build, it's a bit more believable than vanilla building. I do like this map though. And we make them smaller servers. So Namausk is the one that's currently running. This will be the next one with a maximum of 30 people on it. It's not a massive map. It's about the same size as Namausk if Namausk didn't have the amount of water it's got. So it will feel right for a 30 pop server. But I'd rather have 5 people that love playing it and get the concept and want to take part than 30 that complain all the time that they want to play a PvP map. And there's nothing wrong with PvP maps. Most of the time that's what I'm streaming and playing. But I really enjoy the development cycle, the bit in the brain, the editing the map. I was doing DayZ Editor earlier, starting to build a trader. Down here actually. Won't be on here yet, so I've not added it in. So, okay, so remember I've never played DayZ. Are there quests or missions for the server, or is it strictly survival against the elements? So, in vanilla DayZ, All it's about is survival. That's it. Your only objective, and vanilla is the base game, to live longer than everybody else. When I launch a server, so this server when it goes live will have an additional 550 missions on it. So if you get a radio, you'll be able to tune in and it will say things like go to a certain area, kill a pig, bring me the meat back, and then you'll get a reward from it. But there's 550 different missions that I'll be adding to this server as a mod. On some servers there'll be missions that are done different ways. The server that I play as my main PvP server, they've got like little quest people that you can run up to and get, kill me a player and bring me his dog tags and I'll reward you with a fishing rod type stuff. You can get some servers that are far more full-on PvP, sorry, PvE. Reminds me of sort of Skyrim-ish, so full-on proper RPG type mechanics. But where this is now, before I've developed it any further, it is just the base game, because my first thing I wanted to do was get loot working correctly. So that looks like a barracks up there. Let's go and hit the barracks. You never know. I like that. I'm trying something for sure. Yeah, so it really depends on the server, but I like giving people something to do. Some people want to do missions. Now that's okay. So I try and make the servers appeal to different people. I'd have a trader, so for the people that don't really like the idea of having to find everything, they have a route to build their base still. For the people that are happy to look for it, there'll be methods of getting resources without having to worry about base building, without using the trader, sorry. Different people, I tend to put things in for different people. Not everyone does. Combat boots, we'll have them. Take another smoke grenade. It's that old style smoke. So the reason I'm not picking up the field vest that's got storage is I've got a stab vest that's helping me survive against zombie strikes. But I realise very soon I'm going to have to fight them. Oh, time for you to have a sleep. And I tend to make harder servers because I enjoy the challenge, and I enjoy the players that you get on harder servers. So I need a bandage now. Let's come inside here to do it. End of that bandage. Let's get another one ready. Oh, silencer. So now we'll have a silence pistol. Oh, I've caught a fucking disease. There we go, game over. The zombie scratched me and I caught a disease, which is why I'm grunting. So unless we find meds, we're going to die at some point. That's a shame. But it was only a testing run, so it doesn't really matter, does it? So if we found a hospital, we'd stand a chance. So I've left car batteries in because there will be things I have when we get there that make use of them. Which way are we going? We are going... Get rid of that one. Oh, that marker. We're going down to there. That way. And then we'll go across to the tier 4 island. Well, we'll probably have to fight some wolves. So the quests that we put in, when we put them in, that it's not me that's making the quests. There's 550 quests that have been written for a mod that works with this server. But it's things like there'll be a down C-130 with a load of zombies around it, and whatever the loot is inside, you've got like 20 minutes to get it out, then it's yours. There'll be... It will tell you that that his friend is trapped in an apartment. When you get there, his friend will be dead, but whatever loot you find on him will be yours. There'll be a vehicle locked in a garage that's got drugs in the boot of it, and when you drive it to a certain location and drop it off, you get a reward. Stuff like that. But it's a way of players having something to do. On this server as well, there's an end game, so there is an underground area that has high value loot in it. But to get there, you'll need to build a base. Well, you'll need to build a base. You'll need to gear up. You'll need to secure your supplies. You'll need to get NBC equipment and gas masks and filters to make your way into it. And then you'll need MVGs to survive in there because it's pitch black. But we shall run down. When we die, we die. And I can go away and carry on editing. But this bridge goes onto a tier 4. So DayZ works in tiers. So tier 1 tends to be where you start off, up to tier 4 in standard. And tier 4 equipment's far better than tier 1. Within this map there is another tier called underground, so tier 5, and the underground loot is better again. You also get contaminated areas, which you could have a tag for putting loot in. You could say choose to have a rifle that spawns in military contaminated, or you have military police or military school. So if there was a school near the military, it would spawn there. So you have to... It's a zombie patrol. I really like that because it feels like it's a squaddy patrol that's a soldier patrol. Let's go round them, just 3 of them. Or we could bin that off now and go for the pistol. Do you build your server from scratch? No, I use someone else's map. I would love to build from scratch, but I do not have the skill set. So I take someone else's map and then I build my own take on it. Combat backpacks, 42 slots, Better than what I'm wearing. I've got to deal with that Z first. See where it all goes wrong now, can't you? And I'm bleeding out. So you've got people out there that do build all their servers from scratch. I'm just not one of them. Takes a long time, but you can take a part of the world and turn that into a DayZ map, or you can take a blank page and build from there. So that was a decision, and then when you shoot, zombies are attracted to sound. So when you switch to a higher power weapon, you've got more of a problem on your hands. Okay, that's what I wanted. There's more storage in it. Now put that back on my back. Pick that up and make sure you transfer everything over. At the moment, I have no ammo for that, so there's no point putting it in my quick slots. Emergency bandage, but no way of purifying it at the moment. Okay, now I'm seeing in black and white. On a plus point, I do have a rifle still. You even get servers that have dinosaurs on them. People have done Jurassic World type servers. And most of the survival servers aren't really survival. There's an awful lot pretending, and that's not fair, because that's 2 years ago when I first started building servers. I didn't get it. I thought, take out the food, increase the wolves. That's survival, or it's not. You have to do more than that. And you've got some that are really hard, far harder than I would build it. Game's been out for 10 years. 10 years in last December. It's 10 years old. I've been playing it for 4 years. So there's a large gas canister. If you get one of the little burners, you can, and a pot, you can cook on it. So one of the things I'm carrying is a homemade fishing rod. so I can catch fish once I dig up a worm. But yeah, the game's been out for 10 years. It's built on, if you've heard of Armour, it's built on the Armour code. Yeah. It's popular, don't get me wrong, it is popular, but it's not Call of Duty popular. So it's in the circles that are into this sort of thing, they're massively into it. But often what you'll watch is someone play a full-on PvP server, and it looks very much like Call of Duty then. So people don't always stay watching it. Whereas this is different. Now, there's no way I want to go into that. But I do have the ammo to do it. So let's see if we can get up somewhere high. Get on one of these vehicles, we can then shoot them and bring them into me. Okay, let our stamina build up. See, that might work. Oh, they've stopped it so you can't run off the edge of that. That's annoying. Yeah, so what I normally play, you probably wouldn't enjoy. Whereas this is a bit more thinky. So now... Oh, weapon jam? No, not loaded. And if you're doing this on a server with people, now you've got to have a fear that they're going to come and find you. So you won't want to come to this island until you're geared. And weapons jam and needs fixing. So but hopefully it won't. So killing the officer because they scream and attract more. What I wanted. So stab their stuff, plate on. Plate you can also attach pouches to, and it's better quality than a stab vest. If I get some epi putty, I can repair it. I've got a little bit of ammo left. The fact that I'm grunting, it just means we're going to die anyway. Unfortunately. Unless we find a med centre, which is highly unlikely. I don't think there's any medical on here. We are likely to get attacked by wolves, so. And some servers you play on, you'd be able to drive the tanks. Servers I write and take part in and build, I don't have any vehicles that you can use. I like the feeling that all the vehicles were driven off 10 years ago when the outbreak happened. So you really are you against the elements. There's 36 slots. I'll take the rope. Spare knife. Our jacket's ruined, so we'll take that jacket. That's a good exchange. More zombies. Some huts over here. Hopefully there'll be something we can use. There's even some servers you can drive the trains on. Giving them a bit of a wide berth. Actually, I do have a knife now, so we can fight them conventionally. Oh god, even more of them. Forget my wide berth idea, we're going to have to pick a route. Hopefully, one over there. If we come in at the crouch, we might be able to take him down silently. If it's one, we might stand a chance. Just slip past. Just bimble past. Get my stamina up and we can run. Leave those zombies to it. Well, that worked better than I thought. You'll get servers that have got helicopters on them. There's a mod that's been developed at the moment, though it's not finished, so it's not out, where you'll actually be able to ride horses, which is something that I would envisage having on my servers in the future. You know, cars have gone, but being able to ride horses makes sense. Yeah. The trouble with the trains on it is they take up a massive amount of resources. It's 10 years old code, and there's no guarantee that it will. It lags out the server massively, and it doesn't fit in with my vision of a survival server. Some of my players want them, but I don't. If I'm not going to have cars, we're not going. For me, I'm not going to have. Oh, there we go. Okay, game on. And it's cut me. A little nightmare. I'll probably die down here. Well, I will. But let's see how far we get in before we go. So this is the top tier or penultimate tier gear in here. As I said, when we go live, there will be other threats in here to cause problems for players. It's too easy to get in here at the moment for the tier that it is. Even though this probably doesn't feel that easy watching it, but it is. It needs to be harder. I'd say I'm pretty much past curing now as well, if I found meds. I'm slowly turning. If it was an old steam engine, I can see it. There's nothing that needs refined oil. There you go. There you go. So now you understand my vision and how my brain works. Yeah, if I could have an old steam engine that was badly put together and kept going and had bits of planks stuck everywhere and nailed in and bits tied together and maybe coal mining, I'd get my head round it. Where are we on the map? We're there. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. And I don't know what that is over there. No idea. But I'm not going to go there because I don't want to give away too much about the map before we go live. I want some stuff to be... I want players to experience it for the first time when they play the server. Lots of testing and not giving everything away, but it's quite nice streaming my development process as we're going through and I'm changing the loop. So when I played this a week ago, it was a lot easier. Now it's harder, and that's good. I do little things. I tweak the bears slightly, so the bears we have see further. They've got more hit points. They're more aggressive. They will run towards gunshots rather than run away from them. Ah, a bunker. Bunkers are good. Little pillboxes are brilliant. There is underground areas on this map as well you can get into. I said earlier, but there's also tunnels and that you could live in. But it's about having that. I want some, because I'm going to be making content on here as well. I want some stuff to be generally a surprise for everybody. I need meds desperately. See, that would be worth it. Set of MVGs and a helmet. So that's quite a good level of here of what loot we're finding in here. It's not too OP, but it's stuff that will help players progress. I know you're not very well. I think we'll be fighting our way out of this one. So that's one of the radios that you'll need to do missions when I've got them in. Semi-automatic shotgun, no magazine. Holster, that will go on there. 556. Glasses. Scope for M4 platform. It's all going to go wrong now. How much more ammo? 3 rounds, 4 rounds, including the one that's in the breach. Dead man's waste of a round. Okay, out of ammo. Should be interesting. No adrenaline. We'll have potatoes, we've got a bit of food. I don't think shooting a weapon in here is a good idea, and I was kicked off unstable connection. I'll be dead anyway. I'm going to end the stream there, guys. Thank you for watching. It's been emotional, but thank you for being here. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for chatting, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.